Got it. Sorry. Hi, y'all. We're both like waiting for each other to speak.
I know, right? I always go first, so I should have just went. But
Yeah,
no, you're good. Go for it.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll go. We'll change it up. Hey, y'all. This is Shaun. I use they, them pronouns. Do some research at a King County Equity now. And it is Friday. I was gonna say June something. I am clearly in the wrong month. I am sorry.
Yeah, it's
August 7th.
Yeah, it's August 7th.
August 7th, 2020. And I have with me the one and only LéTania Severe, right?
That's right. That's me.
Her pronouns.
Yep. I also do research. Yep, with King County Equity now. That's right. Now you're good. Yes, it is Friday, and we're excited to be here to talk with you today again. More updates and just a little more info about what's been going on, and what we need. Those calls to action. Continue to email and call and do public comment with your council members. If you're not on the King County Equity Now newsletter, sign up. It's you can go to kingcountyequitynow.com and sign up for that. Make it really easy for you to send your emails and also keep up to date on other calls to action.
Yes.
So definitely do that.
There's a lot going on.
So much. It's constantly moving, and you want to stay up to date, or linking up on the social media. A lot of times you'll be able to get the information there, but the newsletter is perfect because it has all the links. It'll populate your email. It'll compose an email for you, and you can just add what you need and send it on.
Yeah, it's pretty great. One of the things that I like as a this is like an overshare, but as a gamer is like right now there's like a way to see how many people have taken like actions, and I just love seeing the number go up. That is who I am.
You're constantly watching it.
Man, I wouldn't say constantly, but like a lot maybe. I get excited when I see like regularly. Yeah, I get excited when I see a bump. I'm like, yes. Yeah, so Monday and Wednesday are the next votes. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. We had a lot of wins this week, which has been exciting. I was getting text messages from different people. They're like, millions of dollars have been, like divested from police, and they're like going towards like things that'll actually create, public health and safety. I'm like, I know. That's because of everybody calling in and like saying what they think is important. So that's been awesome. The rally was really cool too. I liked seeing that. It was really neat. So those are the calls to action. What else do we have to do today? Updates, calls to action. We'll just talk like about research.
Research. We're going to talk about the research. We're always talking about research.
Pretty much. That's like my whole life.
It is.
Let's see. We've continued to do teach-ins. The last few that I've been to, there's been more and more people and asking good questions, offering some suggestions, telling us what they think, having new things for us to add to the cookbook. I guess he's going to be busy writing a lot this weekend.
That'd be us.
That would be us. It's been really cool. I feel like I always feel like it's a stronger research when there's more people involved helping to shape the vision, especially people who just know more than I do about a lot of stuff. I'm thinking about our elders, I'm thinking about our young people, I'm thinking about, people who've been around in Seattle for a long time. They know like all the juice. They know all the things. And like the older they are, the more they know. They're just like, let me tell you what really happened. Like, let me tell you what. Oh my gosh. I have a couple of stories, but do you have something that you want to share with the group? Like while I get them in order in my head.
For sure. I'm just going to reiterate some of the things that we've been focusing on around who can be a researcher. We continuously get questions about whether or not people meet the eligibility. And honestly, a lot of people can be the researcher. We want people who you know, elders, young people, people who are out in the community, who are curious about learning about what makes their community safe, what makes what brings health to their community. Things like that are super important. We want to make sure that we're reaching, we have researchers who have been impacted by these issues, and so that they can, their experience and their representation is included on the research side. It'll make for better conversations with community members and community when talking about specific areas. So we really just want to get everybody out who's interested in this project and interested in talking to people and going out and collecting data from their community to figure out what's going to be the right infrastructure to create safety and health that is restorative and provides the healing that, you know, we've been looking for a very long time.
Yes, absolutely. That was really well said.
Thank you.
Yes, and on that, like, I'm thinking a lot this whole week, every single conversation I've had with people has been focusing on, like, I guess, like, two main things. One has been the idea of, like, as part of the design of the project too, like, those who are closest to, like, the problem, right, are closest to the solution and usually farthest away from the resources. And so as we were, like, designing this and consultation with community members and consultation with elders who could tell us, like, the real story of how long this has been an issue, and decades of organizing have been, you know, like, bringing us to this point, and really drawing clearly the connections between this group and that group, and what happened here and what happened there, then this happened, and then now we're here. It's like all of that context helped inform the design of the research process, which is why it looks the way it does. And I think a lot about how I'm going to sneeze. No, sorry.
Sneezing's fine. It's
no,
totally normal.
I'm not
Just
human. I don't have time to sneeze. It's like gone now. It's literally like, oh, never mind.
Oh, you got rid of it. That was amazing.
I don't have time for this. Oh my God. But yeah, like, how those who are closest to the problem are closest to the solutions, and that, like, there's unique knowledge, unique expertise that you get from being able to see very deeply the problem, what it looks like. And here, you know, we're talking about several problems. It's not like a, you know, one size fits all thing, but I think, you know, when we're talking about things like violence, when we're talking about things like, you know, unsafe situations, we're talking about things like unhealthy and harmful things that are happening. It's like, those of us who've, like, lived it and have seen it, like, we often know the, like, murky ways that these things are upheld. It's just like, it's not, you know, we don't go into this thinking, well, there's a simple, you know, solution here that no one's been brilliant enough to think about except me, you know. Like, it's definitely, you know, that's, like, not your approach when you've seen so much of how these things take shape and how they're reproduced over and over again. So intentionally created this process so that people who are curious, who are, like, really want to dig in on a problem can do that. And I've envisioned this from the very beginning, and everyone that I've talked to has envisioned this from the very beginning to be an intergenerational effort. Like, that means we're going to have people working across the age span on this project. You know, we might have some very young youth working on this and some very senior elders working on this, and I just can't wait to see it. One of the things that I was talking to people as I was sort of scoping this out, as I was, because I was talking about how what would be really, when I was trying to come up with, like, dollar amounts for this, they're like, oh yeah, you know, you'll pay, like, all the research will be paid the same, right? And, like, everything will be fine, and, like, da da da. I was like, yes, sorta, kinda. And that if you ask elders if they would be okay making the same amount as a young person, I think a lot of the elders would be like, really? You gonna go there? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Is that what you're gonna do? I'm like, So I did talk to elders, I talked to young people, I talked to parents who are not quite elders yet, and tried to develop some reasonable dollar amounts. I just want to put that out there. Because, like, that was definitely a strategy that had initially explored, and then like the elders are like, that's a terrible idea. I'm like, oh.
And that's what's so great about being able to talk to people throughout the creation of the process, you know, and getting their feedback.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'll never forget that. I was like, I was so super like, I did this wrong, didn't I? Yes, and I do wonder, like, as people are saying that they're interested, if we might end up having like small family groups, you know, be researchers together. I think that'd be so cool. I know there's a small group that is interested in looking at place and oral histories, and you know, doing interviews with folks who, you know, have been in a particular place for a while, or like know the story, and then being able to take those oral histories and turn them into, or add to them, some type of, you know, map component, so that you can sort of see the history in a different way. You can look at change over time. And I think that would be really cool, especially as we talk about how that connects to policy. Like, I love how people are like weaving together like the very personal story of like, here's, you know, what it was like for me growing up. Here's what I saw, you know, here's what I still see, to here's what made that like possible, or like the only possible option, where it's just like, we could not move because of the economic situation. You're like, oh yeah, that's like, that sounds like that would be hard. And then you look at the policies that were just like, yeah, we're going to make it to where people can't move because of the economic situation. You're like, what? So yeah, I think that's been really important for me as someone who's not from here. Like, I remember, I mean, I told you the story about where I ended up living, but when I was looking at a map of Seattle, I thought North and South Seattle was separated by that water, right? So I thought North Seattle was separated from South Seattle by the bridges. And so that would make everything south of the bridges, including things like Magnolia and Queen Anne and Belltown and like all of that's all South Seattle. And like everything north of that was North Seattle. And like, it made sense to my brain as someone who was nowhere from here, but I quickly learned that was wrong. And like, and I think to this day, there are plenty of things like that, where like, if you're not from a place, if you don't have that, you know, historical context, if nobody tells you any better, you don't know any better. And so you just kind of end up, you know, I don't know, just so.
You end up in Queen Anne.
You end up in Queen Anne, right? But I knew better. I was like, none of the data supports this decision. None of the data. I will die salty about that, y'all. It was not a good look. If you don't know what we're talking about, look for the podcast episode where I'm like, my hair's like, I'm under like a hair dryer.
Yeah, that might be number 4 or maybe 6. I know. I'm just like,
they're not even consecutive.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. It's one of the days I was at work.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Cool. Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, all that is to say, I'm so excited. I do think that one of the cool things we'll get out of this is real detail around like what works for our community. And it won't just be like a single, like, this works for every single body. This will be, you know, this works for our, you know, elders who are living in like this particular area. Like, this is what they said is important, and this is how it's connected to this other stuff. Like, it's that level of detail that I'm certain we're going to get because of the people who are like passionate about really exploring our community. Like, in the Black community, like, we all know we're not a monolith. We all know we don't have the same
goals. We know.
We don't have to tell each other.
I know. I don't know why no one else seems to know. But hey, anyway, I'm looking at you, Joe Biden. But that's cool.
Oh, you went there.
I did.
Oh my God! I can't believe you did that. But yeah, for real though. For real.
Yeah, for real. Like, why? Why?
Yeah, like, I think that what's really cool about this effort, and I've connected with so many people, so many Black people, so many brown people, so many people who aren't Black and brown, just like lots of people. And it's been really cool to hear people bring their own take on this, you know, really bring their own thoughts. And I just can't wait to see all the brilliance that's going to come out of this. It's like, I've met some super impressive folks who are just like, I don't know, they're just like, you know what, I think this would be really cool. And I'm just like, I've never thought of that.
Yeah. It's gonna be
like
awesome.
the oral history piece is like
yeah.
oral history and like math and like policy stuff. I'm like, that is not how I would have, like, that totally makes a lot of sense. So I think projects that are like outside the box and are going to be really cool. And I'm also looking forward to like projects that are very similar and that just haven't been funded before, because we heard so many people, right?
Yeah.
Telling us like, we actually already did this. We did it for free, but
yep.
like we
already told them. We already told the city, the county, other folks. We told them what we need. It's been done.
Yeah.
We just never got it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think this is a great opportunity to get it.
That's
to
right.
connect it to dollars, to connect it to contracts, to connect it to, you know, like other efforts that are happening in the summer and fall. This is perfect timing. So let's get it done.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything else we really wanted to talk about? I have handwriting I can't read anymore. And a few updates for the steering committee that we'll be posting, you know, over the weekend as we start finalizing language. What else? Send us recommendations for people you want to be on the steering committee. They have to not have conflicts of interest, of course. If you're not sure, you could just send them to us and we can talk to them. You don't have to do the vetting process yourself. That is not your job. You can, let's see, what's the best way for people to contact us? info@kingcountyequitynow.com. Put research in the subject. It gets forwarded to us. We read all the things. We share them with each other. We talk about them. It's a whole life.
Yes, it is a whole life. Yeah, and if there's people who are interested in the research, or people you just think would be great at being researchers, send them our info or send us their info, and we'll contact them and reach out and figure out how they can be involved. Yeah.
You want to remind people one last time who could be a researcher?
Anybody who's curious, anybody wants to, solve this problem of, changing the kind of a paradigm shift around how public safety looks and health in our community. So young people, elders, community activists, anybody, no matter what your background is. You don't need to have any letters behind your name. You don't need to have formal training. Just have some curiosity and be excited to go out and talk to people in your community.
Absolutely. And I will say there's one of the things that I don't think I've shared on the podcast yet is we have had interest from people who are currently incarcerated to be researchers, and we would love to keep hearing from people who are currently incarcerated and want to be researchers.
Yes.
So I don't want to miss out on saying that out loud and publicly. That is totally something that excites us. So I just want to put that out there. And I know, the compensation piece can be a little complicated, and so we can talk about that offline, but I'm super excited to hear more people, bringing in people who can't necessarily just, pop up a YouTube or, go to Decriminalize Seattle's website.
Right.
Just trying to imagine what that would look like.
Yeah.
So it might be a little harder for them to be informed, but I still want them to know about this. So definitely let them know.
For sure.
Yeah. That's all I got.
I think that's all we have. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going to be driving tomorrow, too. It's going to be a long drive. I have 10, 11, maybe 12 hours to drive tomorrow. So I'll probably be in the car. But if I'm not here, it'll be because I don't have cell service driving through these states.
That's right.
So it might be just you tomorrow. So
sounds good.
Good luck.
Right.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.